Hello, so this is going to be my one of the document for Kaden's algorithm. So this is just to remember or go through the revision packages and all. So I'm just documenting this to refer this back anytime and to have understanding of my explainability. So Kaden's algorithm we are going to discuss, and this in this Kaden's algorithm we are going to do this for finding the maximum sum of a subarray which is part of array. Obviously, this will that array will have all the numbers ranging from minus infinity to plus infinity, and in that if once we find the max sum, we have a lot of algorithms to do that, and we have a lot of approaches to do that. One could be iterate over all the possible subarrays of an array and calculate the sum and then come up with some solution to that. So in that way, we have like brute force way, that is to go over all the subarrays and compute the sum and take the max. Whereas the other this problem will have the time complexity of nq, that is to go over all the possible subarrays we'll have n square time complexity, and then to compute the sum of all the subarrays will have one more extra n cube, so that will become n cube. And the other approach, the second approach, is prefix sum. So in prefix sum we have to find the like prefix sum array, and that will have a space complexity of on. Whereas to calculate, to go over all the possible subarrays, again we have n square time complexity. So in prefix sum we have two complexities. One is on of space complexity, and time complexity will become on square. So, and here comes the third approach, that is carry forward. In carry forward, ultimately we reduce this space complexity of on to o1, that is constant. So in that we won't calculate the sum of all the array, whereas we'll simply iterate over all the subarrays and calculate the sum for subarrays while traversing the elements of subarrays. So that will be a carry forward approach, and that will be having time complexity of n square, whereas space complexity of on. And in in if we see for the second optimization, ultimately uh, irrespective of all these three optimizations, and that is Cadence algorithm. In that we take you know that is internally a carry forward approach having four variables mostly. Four no, it is five variables. One is the answer, which is going to be the sum of all the subarrays it will have, and that is one variable. Second one is start and end indexes, to tell you the start index and end index of the subarray which is having the maximum sum. And then one is left and right variable. There are two variables, left and right. That is a variable which iterate over from one subarray to other subarray. This means, let's say you have like n number of subarrays. So for all n number of subarrays, we have a variable called left and right, which will take one subarray from, and the left index will be put into left variable, and then we continuously keep on increasing the right variable to reach till the end of that subarray and calculate the sum. And again, then this, whenever we find this, based on the assumption, based on the rule that this subarray is giving some negative numbers, so we'll move and reset the left and right variable to the new start and end index of the next subarray. So by that way, we once we start iterating over subarrays, we calculate the sum and we update the sum uh, to the answer only when the current sum is greater than the previous sum. This means we find a new array which is having a maximum sum or a incremented sum for a subarray. And in that case, we have left and right variable, which is pointing to the initial or index 0 of the first subarray, and right till the time we find a negative number, so that index. And once we find that there is a negative number, the start and end index also will point to that. And once we find a negative number, we reset left to right, not start and end, left to right, to hope for the next subarray which can have maximum number. And with that, we start with next new left number, and we increment that left number and becomes the right number, and we calculate the sum. Once the sum increases the last previous sum value, we update start and end index of the new subarray, which could be the answer potentially. And in the end, whenever we find the maximum sum, we take that only as an answer, and start and end index will be same. So as a whole, Caden's algorithm having five variables. One is answer. So answer get increased only when get changed only when we see the increased number in the sum, and start and end index of the array, that gets changed only when we find a new subarray which is having the maximum sum. And left and right variable, it keeps on changing based on one logic, that is, if in a subarray we find some number which is negative in value. So it means, like, if you find a subarray which is to which we calculate the sum, and if the sum is negative, then we don't consider that subarray to be the maximum, or it can be maximum, but we cannot, like, we consider till the time we find the new subarray, and if that is maximum than the previous, then we update the start and end index. So start and end index is updated once we find the new subarray which is having the maximum sum of that summary. So this is all about Caden's algorithm, and which is based on the carry forward technique. And I hope whenever I come back to this document, this my video notes, then it will be helpful to me. Thank you.